F1 Manager 24, we have started a brand new save and we've put every single driver and member of staff in their 2025 real life positions, and we've made our own custom team, taking whoever was left. So our drivers are Perez and Bottas. But as you look, you can see that everybody has got their 2025 team. We're going to make some designs. I think we're going to go for the front wing, and if we're going for the front wing, we'll most probably go for the rear wing as well. I've picked that we're going to be a title challenger because I'm bored, I'll be honest, of spending a whole season doing research and then getting fired from that team. Like, we done a whole season basically of research for Haas. We didn't get fired from them, we left to go to our team, but we done a whole season of research our team, 2 whole seasons of research, and we got fired from that team. And then we went to VCarb, and I'll be honest, it's just boring. So we're starting a new team, we're starting a new save. So we're going to design a front wing, and we're going to design a rear wing. These will be our first upgrades. We've gone for a custom calendar as well. I've sort of made my own calendar with a bit of real life 2025 theme. It's a bit weird, I'll show you in a minute. But first race is Melbourne. Second race is not sure, China I think. But yeah, we're going to do some upgrades to the weather centre, to the helipad, and to the what we're going to do, the design centre. That'd be a big boy. The CFD simulator, yeah, the CFD simulator. The helipad level 2 is complete. Now we're picking our sponsor brands. Which one do we pick? I mean, it's kind of what we need is more engagement rather than upfront. So we're just gonna go for, I think we're gonna go for sponsors that are more engagement focused. Like that one is probably very good. Farum Star. Pick them. APT or whatever that is. Henrik Engineering. That's actually quite a good one. Electrolyte Energy. Do we want to promote something like that? I guess we do. Does that say? Yeah, whatever that says. It's quite a nice logo actually. And then we'll pick a cryptocurrency, I think. A battle of the cryptocurrencies. Oh, we chose the fuel one instead anyway. So we got 79.1 million funding this year. And what do? We get the design centre upgrade. Yeah, we get a facility upgrade on the design centre. It's Melbourne, China, Bahrain are the first 3 rounds. Then it will go to Jeddah. Then it will go to Abu Dhabi. Yes. Then it will go to Losail. Then it will go to Imola, Monza. I think, no, Baku, Imola, Monza. And then we go into the European stint of the season, where it's quite mixed and matched. And then we go to the American stint of the season. So we end at Brazil with the penultimate round of the season being Canada. We're going to go for 7th or above and 8th or above with both our drivers.
There's a newcomer
Let's go.
in the RB seat this weekend. An opportunity for them to see what they can do with the car. Now let's crack on with the weekend. Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Drivers need to get into Q3 if they want to make the top half of the grid. With only 10 slots available, it's a fight nobody wants to lose.
And here's a driver there's been quite a focus on recently, Karun. Valtteri Bottas.
You can tell that we've been watching a driver with real confidence here. And it makes a difference, I can tell you from my own experience.
And it's almost time for qualifying. You won't want to miss that.
It's quite a shame that there's not going to be another version of this game. There's going to be no F1 Manager 25. Would have loved to have seen it. Don't get me wrong, I would have had my work cut out because I've only done like 2 seasons on this game. But yeah, it is a bit of a shame. Sorry if you can hear any drilling outside, by the way. They're fixing something, or pretending like they're fixing something anyway. Here we got Bottas and Perez. They're both going green. Bottas goes purple in the second sector. And they're now kissing each other, basically. Bottas is literally pushing Perez through. It's going to be an interesting teammate dynamic between these two. They've never been paired in real life. And it will be interesting to see who has better pace. Now in the game, I reckon it will be Perez, because he was at Red Bull while Bottas was at Kick, so they're knocking Bottas down a few ratings, but it'll be interesting to see. Into Q2 now. It was one and done in Q1. What are we going to do? Right, we're on a lap. I think we're on scrubs. Because if we can get through on to Q3 with just using just one set of tyres, then I'll be very, very, very happy. Yeah, as of yesterday, it was the British Grand Prix. I most probably filmed this about 3 weeks before the British Grand Prix. Yeah, it was a good race. A little bit upsetting that Hamilton didn't get a podium, but at least Hülkenberg did, I suppose. It's Bottas, Perez 7/10 off his teammate, and here's Ollie Behrman.
Just running wide.
Oh dear, don't be out there, my friend.
The car any good at all.
That's not very good. But yeah, we get P3 and P8 in Q2, and we are going to go into Q3 where the hunt for pole position is held. Right, into Q3 where it counts. This is the most important qualifying session of the lot, because it will definitely decide our grid place on Sunday. Well, I mean, it'll be Tuesday as you're watching this, but I suppose it decides our grid position on Tuesday then. Perez goes fastest in the first sector out of the two of them, because there are other cars that are yet to go through the first sector. So the Ferraris just nicked it off, as Perez is quickest out of them two in the second sector as well. It should be 2 fresh runs. I can't remember how many tyres we used in Q2, but it should be 2 fresh runs if we got through on one set of tyres. Go up to the line, it's a 1:15.9 for Perez, and it's 4/10 off that for Bottas. So Lewis Hamilton runs a little wide on his lap. And starting our final lap in Q3, Perez P4, Bottas P6, separated by a Williams, which is interesting, because I didn't think Williams would be that good. Don't get me wrong, their 2025 performance definitely reflects that. But, yeah, Corbin Albon got 4th in the first race, or 5th in the first race. That was mental. Anyway, Perez, green, Bottas also green, coming around the final sector. It's a very short lap here. It's about 1:15, so when you speed that up to about ×2, it's about, what, I mean, 37, 38 seconds when you're on ×2. Perez comes up towards the line. What's it going to be? He goes P3, 4/10 off, and Bottas goes P6, 7/10 off, and I think that could potentially be it. Norris goes up, so now that's P4 and P7, and Hamilton splits our 2 cars, I think, Hamilton and Piastri. But one of them was already there and one of them wasn't. I can't remember who. But it's P4 and P7 on the grid for Sunday's race.
Well, the fans here are all set. Every one of them eagerly awaiting the 58 laps of today's race.
Albert Park often seems to set teammate against teammate. From Hill and Villeneuve dueling for the 1996 win, to Bottas beating fellow Mercedes driver and pole sitter Hamilton to the win in 2019.
The Albert Park circuit is bursting with rapid corners and a long straight where drivers can push their speed to the limits. Good attention to medium speed downforce will likely make beating this beast of a track just a little bit easier. It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go. Could this be a big race for that man, Alexander Albon?
An encouraging grid position as they sit in P8. Lots to build on during the race if they manage it well.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. And it's lights out.
And it's lights out and away we go from P4 and P7, or it was. I'm just turning over the driver's overtake aggression up to high. And now it's lights out and away we go. Starting from P4 and P7, Bottas gets up to P6, overtaking Hamilton straight away. Perez up to P3, passing Piastri. And George Russell, who was knocked out in Q1, I believe. I didn't actually see that or clock that. He goes for a little spin on that one. And Lando then overtakes us. And we then overtake Lando, or try to. We dive down the inside, get the place. And Lando overtakes us again. You will have DRS because it's obviously a single detection for two zones around here. And it's Bottas and Piastri fighting. Bottas gets the place, currently P4 and P5. And here's another look at it. Really, really, really nice move. Shoves him off a little bit, but he was ahead, so we'll let him off. And now Perez and Bottas are fighting, and Bottas was about to lose 2 positions, might still lose 2 positions, gains them back, but eventually loses the 1 to Hamilton and another 1 to Piastri, so it's down to where we started, 4th and 7th. And then Hamilton gets Perez, but Perez isn't willing to give it up. He does fight it quite hard, but Hamilton's going to go around the inside and get the place and the DRS, and Piastri should just go past with DRS, and Bottas does as well. So Perez lost 3 places in 1 straight, and Perez goes down the inside of Hamilton. Never even saw him get Bottas, but oh well. And Bottas tried to get Hamilton, but unfortunately not. Piastri overtakes Perez. It looks like Perez is about to overtake Piastri, and Bottas is getting closer to Hamilton as the laps go by. And Bottas is going to try and overtake Hamilton. Hamilton's picked up damage somewhere, he possibly might have run wide. Down on the main straight towards turn 1, can't do anything. Towards turn 3, Piastri gets Perez on lap 10. And on lap 11, Perez gets him back into turn 1. And Bottas, coming into turn 3, goes down the inside of Hamilton, and he gets the place, and then he goes for Hamilton again and manages to keep it. And then Hamilton, the following lap, just shoves Bottas off. Doesn't even try and give him an ounce of room. Former teammates, of course. Bottas then gets him back as Piastri overtakes Perez, and Bottas overtakes Hamilton, which is nice. Although it looks like Hamilton's going to get Bottas again, which he does, and he keeps it. But Perez did get Piastri back, and Bottas is going to dive down the inside, and he's going to try and shove Hamilton off, but Hamilton just gets him back. And Hamilton and Bottas are fighting. They're really, really fighting. It's a massive ding-dong battle, and Bottas gets Piastri, and now he's 2.2 off Hamilton because Piastri decided he was just going to go slow. And Hamilton gets Perez, who had gapped these guys by quite a bit, goes down to the inside of the 90-degree right-hander and gets the place. Piastri comes in on lap 16, same as Charles Leclerc, who has the fastest lap. Piastri comes in for mediums. I'll pit window soon. I think it's medium, hard, medium this race. But I can't remember. Hamilton is going to get Perez into turn 1. Lovely little double move from Hamilton. Round the outside, gets the place, gives himself the faster race line. And Hamilton has now pushed away from Perez and got him out of DRS. It's alright because the pit window is soon, so it's all going to shake up. Although I think Perez might have actually managed to keep DRS, right? No, he didn't get DRS, he's just closing in, which is good, because they're both 10 seconds off Norris, so it would help if they closed in, because Norris was with us in the first stint. But hey ho, it's one of them. I'm just going to have to push. Perez goes down the inside on Lewis Hamilton and up into the race lead, and Bottas gets overtaken by Verstappen and Leclerc, and then comes into the pits on lap 20 for a set of, I don't know why the pit crew are all yellow, medium compound tyres. It's a 2.8 second stop. He's going to be out behind Yuki Tsunoda, just in front of Yuki Tsunoda, who was last for most of this race, but Bottas is going to drag him along now, I bet, and that's going to save him. Hards for Perez, 2.7, and we are out in P6 and P7 because we went a bit longer than everyone else. And yeah, like I thought, Bottas is dragging Tsunoda along. Tsunoda goes for the overtake on lap 22 and gets the place on Valtteri Bottas. Not very nice, although Bottas isn't going to give it up easy and fights it back down the straight before DRS is even enabled. And then Yuki goes for a massive dive bomb. And while we're watching Perez when them two are fighting, we don't know what happened there. But Bottas got Perez, I can tell you that. Hamilton gets Ocon. Hamilton put even later than us, I think. Hamilton gets the fastest lap. Bottas overtakes Tsunoda. Bottas comes into the pits with a safety car. This is a safety car. And we pit on the first lap of it. 2.8 seconds because I was unsure what to do with Bottas, with Perez, because Bottas I can go hard, but Perez is going to be difficult. So Bottas is on hards, and Perez comes in on the second lap because I see most others coming in, so I thought we might as well. And he's going to go for mediums and back to hards maybe. I don't know what lap it is, but I'd imagine it's like 30. Yeah, so it might be mediums to the end from there. Anyway, safety car gets going again. We go round the outside of Piastri on lap 34. Then Perez is going to dive down the inside of Hamilton on lap 34. And Bottas is sort of stuck somewhere. And then Perez gets Norris. Or we might go for an attacking stint of softs at the end. I didn't actually think about that with Perez. Bottas gets Norris. Perez gets Hamilton. And now he's 5 seconds away from Verstappen if he can get there. I think that was a McLaren going around outside of Bottas. Yes, it was Piastri. And now Perez and Hamilton are fighting. He loses a place to Tsunoda and Leclerc. Now he dive bombs Leclerc back into turn 3 on lap 42. And the pit window is open. And we are going for fresh soft compound tyres because we did save an absolute shed load of them in qualifying. So Perez is going to come in with 15 laps to go, away from a podium position to try and fight for, well, anything, because we're going to lose a load of places. In he comes. It needs to be a quick stop. It's not really a quick stop. 2.9, I'll take that, but we're going to be out in 16th place. Yikes, there's a lot of work to be done. And Bottas is currently P5 and Perez is now up to P14. Dive bomb on Behrman up to P13, and Perez has the fastest lap and he's up to P11. Now he's up to P10. I think it's going to be Bottas' time to pit soon. Perez is now up to P9 and Bottas comes in this lap with 10 laps to go. Perez overtakes Albon. Yeah, he's up to P9. I mean, Bottas is already behind Perez, which just shows how much Perez has gained in just a few laps. He's about to be on Alonso and Hamilton already. Bottas gets up to P11, overtaking George Russell. 8 laps to go, and he's about to get Pierre Gasly. Sorry about that. He gets Pierre Gasly on the main straight. Perez gets Alonso, then gets Leclerc, and now he's on the back of Norris. As Bottas gets P8 and ahead of Alex Albon. You know, we're gaining positions like nobody's business here. We do get Norris as he comes into the pits, and Perez gets Leclerc and up into P4. Bottas gets Alonso and Leclerc because Leclerc has a puncture. Bottas is up into P5, and it's going to be P4 for Sergio Perez and P5 for Valtteri Bottas, possibly. What a result that is in our first race, a double top 5. We'll take that. That should be P2 in the constructors as well. Tsunoda might be the luckiest person alive as well, by the way.
That's the checkered flag. Good strategy. Good job, good points. Excellent, thank you very much. Stopping on the marks and...
Sergio Perez with a very good showing here.
I think they'll be pretty satisfied with this result. They bagged some points and they're going to be pleased with their finish.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but it was a thrilling weekend here for us all at the Australian Grand Prix. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
There's lots of encouragement to be taken from today's race. Both drivers did really well and showed a lot of promise.
And that's about that for this weekend here in Melbourne.
Join us for the next round as we head to Shanghai for all the excitement of the Chinese Grand Prix.
So that's round 1 of the season said and done. What a crazy, exciting race it was. Yuki Tsunoda up 15 places, Perez P4, Bottas P5, Alonso was up 14 places, Bortoleto was down 8 and Charles Leclerc was down 13. Well, that was because of the puncture. We get 11 points in the Pit Stop Championship. We're P2 in the Constructors, P4 in the Pit Stop Championship. I'll see you next time for the Chinese Grand Prix. Goodbye for now.